2010 Ford Mustang, doing an AKL, all keys lost. Long history on this car, we'll talk about it later. So I'm going to go into the immobilizer. And what I got the ignition switch out. I'm going to turn the key on, or power on to this real quick. Reason I turn that on is because right now we don't have a new key cut. We got some blanks. We're going to trick it, program some keys here, see if the car runs, and then we could possibly buy it for a race car. So car's kind of beat up, but we'll see what we can do just to see if it runs, and if it does, we'll get keys cut and go from there. So there's the VIN. So we're gonna do what you call an all keys lost. Try to program some new keys. They're from Amazon. They're not the original Ford keys, so hopefully they program, and we'll see what happens. So we're gonna go to control unit, immobilizer. We're not immobilizer. Let me go back to hot function. All keys lost. So we're gonna start it. So all keys will be erased. At least 2 keys are required for learning. So yes. Turn ignition on. We did. So we got power hooked up. We're erasing the keys. We got to get past security. It's going to take 10 minutes. So we're going to have to start the 10-minute countdown. So we got power from another vehicle. And again, we took that switch off so we can use a screwdriver to turn it on so we don't get these keys. We can cut them, but we're going to have to get a cutting machine to do that, or hire somebody to cut them for us because I don't have a key machine yet. Eventually I'll get one, but we want to make sure this vehicle runs, and if it does, we'll cut these keys. But we'll let the timer, or the 10-minute security, go through right now. All right, now we're at 52%. So usually 85%, I think, is when it lets us in usually. All right, so we're almost there. It's almost going to let us in past security. The last time it was at like 85% for this Ford. So it should let us in very shortly here. There it is, let us in. So learn keys 1. So it's erasing them. So you got to have 2 keys. So now it's 0 keys. So what it's going to tell you to do is turn the ignition off. Turn the ignition on with the first key. 3 seconds later, turn it off and remove the key. Turn the ignition on with the next key. 3 seconds later, turn it off, remove the key. And to add more keys, repeat step 3. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Already, I didn't capture and film there, but I did all 4 keys, and then I hit OK, and then I escaped out of it. It's successful. So now I'm going to try to start it here. So I'm going to put the film up because I got to put a screwdriver in there, and then I got a key in the ignition. So I'm going to go ahead and crank it again. But it sounds like this engine's got other issues. We just want to see if this thing even runs. Sounds like it's got a dead hole in the engine on one of the cylinders. Alright, so just to prove, we're going to go into the instrument cluster live data. We're going to see how many keys it actually took. So we're going to go into number of keys stored 2. Even though we did 4. So we got some bad keys from Amazon, but that's what happens. So we'll try to keep starting it. So we got 2 of the 4 keys good. We got some bad ones from Amazon, obviously, but I know that I got a good key in there because when I'm starting it, or trying to start it, crank it, the security light is not on, so that's a good thing. And they're rescanning codes, and there's no PETS codes at all. So that is it for that 2010 Ford Mustang. The history on it kind of talked about in the beginning of the video, but I wanted to add to the end here. Basically, it's like a $500 car. I don't know if they just abandoned it or what the history on it, but I got called over there to try to program some keys. There's no keys in it, so we did all keys lost. We didn't want to call the locksmith to cut the keys because it was like 110, 120 bucks. So we did all keys lost with it. Put some key blanks in from Amazon, which we got a couple bad ones because they weren't Ford keys. There were some aftermarket ones, but we got 2 to work. So you have to have 2 for the Ford's PAT system. Took the ignition switch out, used a screwdriver, and we turned it over that way. So when we're programming it, I didn't capture it on video, it's kind of hard to. I had a buddy of mine put the key in, we turned ignition on and off with the screwdriver, and try to do it that way. So we got it to start, got 2 keys programmed for the PAT system, but if you listen in the video, you can hear it, it's got a dead hole, so he's gonna probably do a compression check on it, but he's trying to get it for just a dirt track race car, just basically run what you bring on this little track in Mountain Home, Idaho. So pretty cool little feature of the IM508 from Autel. So that is it for this video for this 2010 Ford Mustang.